The story I am about to tell you serves as a warning as to why I keep my circle of friends very small. It's the sad, but true story of Dr. Charles Scudder and his life partner, Joe O'Dom, and what happened to them at their isolated and remote castle in the woods in the winter of 1982. December 12th was supposed to be a fun-filled day for Dr. Charles Scudder and his boyfriend Joe. They had planned a dinner and invited guests to their strange and unusual home that they had built by hand, brick by brick, by themselves. The home, which sat on 40 very secluded acres in the backwoods of Georgia, was the pride of its owners who valued their privacy. It was the early 1980s and it wasn't as easy being openly gay in those days. It also wasn't accepted being openly Satanists. Neither Dr. Scudder or his partner Joe actually worshipped the devil. In fact, neither actually believed in the devil at all. They were more into the Anton Lev beliefs that there was no God, nor devil, and that they should live the way they wanted to. In their eyes, they were their own gods. In short, they were simply hedonists who wanted to live their lives to the fullest. Their castle, which was very strange and unusual, was very large and filled with all types of dark and satanic art. If it was weird, strange, odd or dark, it was the type of things they would have on their walls or on their shelves. Aside from not only having strange taste in art, they also had a very strange place they liked to party, which was outside of their strange home. It was their chicken house. It was 3 stories tall. On the bottom floor, they actually housed chickens and collected their eggs from it every day. On the 2nd floor, they had a pink S&M bondage room. On the floor above that, they had a room set up where they could drink their homemade wine and get high with guests, and they loved inviting guests over. One of the locals who regularly came to party with them was a 17-year-old boy named Kenneth Avery Brock. Brock had visited Corpsewood Manor many times, which had gotten its unique name from all of the fallen trees on the property that were laying the dying or dead. It was a tongue-in-cheek name, but they had no way of knowing how prophetic the name would be. It's unknown if Dr. Scudder had used drugs or alcohol on the youth to seduce the young man, but it was believed that there was a sexual relationship between the older man and the boy. This absolutely enraged the boy's much older friend and roommate Samuel Tony West. The younger boy, Kenneth, kept coming home and telling the older roommate of all the strange things the couple owned and of their huge home out in the isolated woods. It gave the older man an idea. He was going to go out there and rob them. It's unknown if murder was a motive or not, because not only did they go out and party with the couple, they also took another couple with them to party as well. They took their young friend, Joey Wells, who was just barely old enough to vote, and a young lady named Teresa Hudgens, who was just a teenager herself. It was the couple's first date and probably their last. It was a night they neither of them would ever be able to forget for the rest of their lives. After a large dinner with homemade wine, Dr. Scudder and his guests all went to party in the top floor of the chicken house. There they did drugs, drank wine and visited Joe's for them. Dr. Scudder's partner remained in the house to clean up and do dishes. While partying, Mr. West, the older of the men, went out to use the bathroom. Instead, he made his way to his vehicle to retrieve a .22 rifle. He had borrowed it from Brock's mother under the ruse that he wanted to use it for rabbit hunting. He re-entered the chicken coop with the firearm pointed at Dr. Scudder's head. Dr. Scudder, who was high and intoxicated at the time, laughed and said boom boom, thinking it was a joke. Sadly, it was no joke. He grabbed Dr. Scudder by his shirt and dragged him into the kitchen of his home, where he showed him the dead bodies of his life partner, Joe O'Dom, who had been shot in the head, as well as his 2 beloved pet bull mastiffs who were asleep by the wood stove when West broke in and shot them. West demanded Dr. Scudder give him all of his money. Dr. Scudder cried and insisted that all of his money had been used up finishing their home and decorating it. They had no money. As Dr. Scudder cried, he said his final words, "I did this to us. I brought this on us," as West shot him 5 times in the head. This is where the story gets a little strange. As I mentioned, the couple had a very dark and unusual taste in art. One of the paintings that was displayed in the home was a self-portrait of Dr. Scudder of just his deceased head with 5 bullet holes in it. Was it a self-fulfilling prophecy or a strange and eerie coincidence? Either way, As all this was happening, the younger couple who had joined them, went their separate ways into the woods. The young lady was able to find town eventually a day or two later. By then, a family member had already stumbled upon the gruesome scene and had called the police. West and Brock made a very stupid decision to steal the slain couple's Jeep. It was black and not only had a big white pentagram on each door, but on the back as well. Knowing they would soon be captured in such a noticeable vehicle, they soon decided to kidnap and carjack Navy Lieutenant Kirby Phelps from a rest stop near Bon Iver, Mississippi, with the intention of tying him to a tree and stealing his car. While Brock was busy unloading the Jeep, West again decided to murder another innocent victim. West shot Phelps, and that's when young Brock decided he needed to be free from West. They went their separate ways. Brock surrendered himself to the police on December 20th. West did the same on Christmas Day in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All that is left of Corpsewood Manor now is some remains of the house which was destroyed by a fire. Many claim the property is extremely haunted. Many people have claimed to have not only seen the ghosts of the couple, but even the ghosts of their beloved pets. Although the land was eventually sold, no one has ever decided to rebuild. The old home remains are still there to this day, laying in tatters in what was once known as Corpsewood Manor.